idea of herbs. I think it's really terrific. But there are quite a few that you couldn't grow, aren't there?
Well, some would grow far too tall, like fennel and borage and...
I know, I've grown lovage, certainly, up to about 8 feet, you know, which would look pretty silly in the sort of...
And rosemary would be no good because it needs a very well-drained soil.
That's right, yes. And of course the aftercare is important too, isn't it? That this peat compost does dry out very fast, so it certainly needs watering quite regularly. If it's in an exposed position, probably even twice a day.
Yes, and feeding.
Feeding is important too, and I think round about once a week, yes.
Well, I hope that we'll see you next week when we'll be talking about pips, pest and cacti, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Well, before you dash off to check over your pot plants, you might like to know that there's a BBC book to accompany this series. It's called A Practical Guide to Houseplants, and it's available now. BBC One is shortly to be plunged into the turbulent affairs of the Dallas oil fraternity, in which JR and Sue Ellen are once again in fighting form. Here on BBC Two now, we come to the final programme in the documentary series, which looks behind the doors of the MOD.
I've come to visit CPR. Can you ID, please?
In a leafy setting in the home counties, the British Army reenacts the street battles of West Belfast.